Hi, Paul. Thank you so much for being here and for all that you do. In gratitude for what you do, the Scry's for you. So thank you. Here's your Inkblot made in your name and essence. If you want to take a screenshot or anyone else that is here to receive freely, should you resonate. We're going to add on some tarot and oracle, and as well we have GhostTube here kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Receive or release freely, of course. I'm going to take a moment to open up. You're welcome to join me, or you know the drill. You can pause, fast forward, replay, revisit as much as you'd like. Taking a nice big breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of Paul. Paul, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. All right, so upon making your Inkblot, a few notes came up, and I'll just kind of dart them off here. So Mr.
What
Rogers,
is happening?
we're here scrying Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and very specifically, it was this feeling of seeing the opening when he comes in with one coat on, goes to the closet, changes his sweater. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Feel very safe and innocent, but that's not to take away from the seriousness of the integrity of what Mr. Rogers might have been speaking about. Protector, professor, magus,
Laura.
school counselor, purple lightning energy, prince of light. School came up again. I don't know if it was something about if you went to school, things that happened in school. Counselor, you are also a counselor. Spiritual school, physical school, I don't know. Kind killer, but like a sniper. The song Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication, specifically came through. And there's something about, like, typically when we hear that song, maybe on the radio if you know the song. But then there's also something, if you listen to the words, there's a deeper or hidden meaning that's blatantly said. This brings me up into the dyslexic that I have written up here, because now it could be traditional dyslexia and having to move through that, but it also feels like that plain, like something is being said plain as day, but the meaning, occult, esoterically, energetically, whatever the case may be, there's like this dimensional dyslexia that I'm able to dissect, or at least to some degree. I feel like I can tune into it. Crone sorcery, something behind you. Something about mother came through, just the word mother. Mopping floors. I felt like I was the fixer. Maybe at some point in time, it reminded me of, I can't remember the movie's name, but he's like the pretty famous guy, does a lot of stuff with Ben Affleck anyway, and I think he's like the janitor or something, and he can do like math equations or something like that, whatever that's called, that movie's called. I said purple lightning. And ask a question, eye contact. And this also brought me into the dyslexia thing, like being able to discern and decide through degrees of dimensions. So what would seem backwards or upside down, but it was making me more feel like it's just like certain degrees of separation or space. I don't know how to say that any better, but if I butchered it, you know the drill, receive or release freely. Okay, let's dig in. You have a historical moments card that came through, and it is when Thanksgiving becomes a holiday. With the nation, good morning. With the nation in the midst of civil war, President Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday on October 3rd, 1863, saying in part, I do therefore invite my fellow citizens in every part of the United States, and also to those who are in foreign lands, to set apart and observe the last Thursday of November next as a day of thanksgiving and praise. When I was setting the stage here, and I got your paranormal poker hand here as well that popped out, I felt like I am very grateful and I give thanks because it's almost like I wasn't supposed to be here, or I didn't think I was going to be here, something along that lines. And all the fixins, I want all the fixins. And I want it to be lavish and decorative because I'm so grateful. And I welcome other plates to my table. other people. And it also brings me into that Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood feeling, like where fellow citizens in every part of not only the United States, but foreign countries or foreign frequencies, I welcome them in, and I'm not stuck to the table looking a certain way. I might prefer it to be tidy so that everyone feels that they have the space to eat and nourish according to their own taste buds. It's like having a buffet versus this is the dinner. It's like a buffet Thanksgiving. Sorry about I have ink all over my hands. 'Tis the artist way. All right, I'm going to dig in here. I'm being drawn right down to the bottom. Could have been something about drinking, lots of water, flushing something out. Something used to make me very angry, or I feel like at some point in time I was angry. And it was like emotional, and I might have, because there's like the gray in here, and there was something I was carrying with it. So a shadow of something, maybe even a shadow of myself. A shadow of a feeling, and it was causing, it's almost like one of those bones in the nose. Could have also been part of a tribe, and it didn't work out. Something didn't happen, something about loyalty and love, and being able to flush things through, like, kidneys and livers, my internal system, my internal devices where things are digested and filtered. Crisscross and make you want to jump. And again, it brings me into that weird like dyslexia thing. Crisscross, if you remember them, I'm not sure how old you are, but they wore their clothes backwards. Again, there's this thing, and I don't know if it's you have this ability to see into that, or
watching.
When you're observing and someone says one thing and they do another. And there's grace there. I want this to be known because I come back to the Thanksgiving card. There's something about saying grace and giving grace. And that's how I feel very much so in this moment. But I started with myself. Because I'm seeing these as eyes that were very, very sleepy. And that's what kind of brings me into that. Like I almost fell asleep. I almost went the distance. But then this anger turns passion, and it's like I'm seeing palmistry in a weird way. It's like this is a timeline. Other things started to shift, and then I'm up here. This is the magus feel, is how I'm feeling, at least for me. I'm seeing like an octopus eyes, like with an octopus head, like the Kraken. Release the Kraken, and that's almost what I had to do. And then release the Kraken would like bring about these waters. Does that make sense? Okay,
regret.
But there is, and perhaps there is regrets in there. But I heard specifically, because I was going to say off my tongue resentments, but I was like, tisk, I give grace. I'm seeing like shadowy figures up here, as though I was watching like an old school black and white movie. And it might be like, vampires, or I don't know, but it's like a black and white vintage movie. And you like can see these things in I don't know if it's in life or again in dimensions. It's very odd. But I can shoo them out because I'm seeing the thumbs like out. If anything like creeps in, it's like somehow I can peer. I'm peering.
Tired.
Appearing. Something about the sleep state too. Sometimes I feel like I recap and relive things. I'm seeing sphinx heads, but the sphinx are attached to different bodies than we typically see. I'm also seeing like this isn't like the magus area, the magician area. It's like a fuzzy dog. I'm very loyal to the things I love. I'm very, very loyal to the things I love, including knowledge. But because like I feel like I have this like dimensional dyslexia here, I don't know what's the past and I don't know what's the present. To be honest with you, I don't feel concerned about the future. I know that what I'm doing in the moment provides to that. So I don't feel like I have this concern, as I know I am here and I cultivate the care. I cultivate the care for that. There's something about like a succubus feeling though, and it's like right on my face,
Hair.
and it's like, but I feel like it's knowledge. It's knowledge from another time. It's almost as if I have learned how do I say? I want, on a very basic level, I'm going to say, I have lived the dark and I've chosen the light. Or vice versa. Not vice versa per se. I see the light and dark and I choose to harness the light of the night in the dark of the light. The shadows in the daytime.
Move over.
And the moon shines in the nighttime. Does that make sense? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at your paranormal poker hand here. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So we have here focus and oath. If you know the drill, please see, sense, and feel for yourself first versus listening to my yammerings. I also have here belonging and grove. And then movement. Okay. So, thank you. I'm going to put you over here. My masculine and feminine energies are focused now. This bow and arrow, it's like these bow and arrows here. Something about a past life as well that I'm remembering. I feel like I've made an oath in the here and now. Present. And I reaffirm this oath to myself. And I observe, it's almost like I can see other people's oaths, and not in an invasive way, but I feel like it's just like people are living it. You're living out everything that you align with and that you make oaths to. I also feel like there could be something, I don't know in any regards if it's past life, whatever it is. I may have made an oath to something else. Again, it's like that whole, I lived in the night and I saw the moon shine. I live in the day and I see the shadows. House of the night. It's like I don't want to use the word like gang or something like that, but it could also be, again, I'm going to use these words, but I don't necessarily feel like they are the proper term in like an occult way.
Be quiet.
Because that's just, right, it doesn't want to be spoken of. So that's just the way I'm sensing it. That's just knowledge or information more so hidden. The way it's being used with the grove, again, I think it's like in California.
Disagree.
I could be very, very wrong. It's like Bohemian Grove or something like that. But I feel like whether or not it's like being a part of that, that's not what I'm saying. It's an emanation. There's some sort of sacrifice that's happening in that energy, and I needed to get away. I belong, and I'm focused now on where I've chosen to belong. And this is what I now make my new oath to. But it's like with these tattoos stepping forward, I have memories of who I was, and I will not resent that. It helps me reclaim and remember my choices and why I'm here. And this is all in here. I feel like there's a part of me that is very
Diana.
much so protected. These are like eyes, that sniper eyes. It's like, you know that saying, you can kill people with kindness. No, yes. You can kill people with kindness. And sometimes maybe I've learned to do that because it's making me feel like when my care turns to concern, it's like moving from that positive to that negative essence of, compassion and connection. So when I notice that shift, I'm like, this is not actually my concern. This is what I care about. And this is not that it has to stay all fluffy, but do you know what I'm saying? I have my boundaries of what's not necessarily my concern. I feel like somebody keeps trying to talk to me, or something or substance keeps trying to talk to me. But I'm blocked off from it, and my knowledge, my sphinx of sorts, keeps telling it to go away. 8 of Cups. Yeah, go away. 9 of Pentacles and Spirit of Wands. I'll take the top one. This is how I feel in the resonance of relationship. These two characters. Crystals. Very see, even in this one, it's like that was is it the Grim Reaper? Is it just my imagination? Doesn't matter. I almost wasn't supposed to be here, and now I'm building this whole tree of life. Also something about amethyst crystals, because this is where I belong. And even though one might belong in the shadows, the subconscious, even if I may, maybe a lot of the work that you do is shamanic in nature, spiritual in nature, which a lot of it's done in the dark. You turn the lights on in the house. So there's always an ambiance. Again, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is how I'm hearing that. I walked away from 8 of Cups to work towards 9 of Pentacles. That's how it's making. I just realized there's a noose in there as well. Yeah, there's something about like I wasn't supposed to be here. One more. Ace of Wands. Okay. I wasn't supposed to be here. And look at, there's a little dove up there in honor of. I made peace with something. I made peace with something. Again, water.
Where is it?
Water, water, water. Flushing.
I remember you.
Flushing the way I feel. Flushing the way I feel. Pointing the fingers. And I'm seeing it like a cartoon, like a Mickey Mouse glove finger. Like things that just do not serve. Get out of here. It's like, and I give them the direction. I'm very quite clear about it. I'm also seeing one of those. It's an old kind of gun. It's old. Winchester? Winchester? Is that, yeah, that's a thing, right? There's another.
What do you mean?
There's another dove. You might have helped your partner also open up. Whatever this red ribbon was connected to. And something about the red ribbon in Feng Shui for freedom and financial, maybe it's financial freedom? Paul, we're here for Paul. Sorry, I get very, very distracted. But it's all very wonderful. There's the Winchester. But it's so fun because it's like I'm seeing it as a cartoon character. Like you would see it in Bugs Bunny or something. Was it Elmer Fudd? And he just can't ever catch the rabbit. Okay, I'm wandering up here. Oh, we're switching? Okay, thank you. All right, sorry, Paul. Please do like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I thank you so much, and gratitude for all that you do. All the signs and all the auras in the world. Thank you. Thank you. Beloved, radical acceptance. Yeah, I'm coming into like this here. Where are you? I want to place him in here. And I want to place like I'm going to put not the word belonging, but like the haunted house, that Magus feeling. Like, I don't know if like in some past life you could have been like Dracula or something. I have a lot of resources. Something about many lineages as well have left you things. Could be in the grandmother mother line. Because up here, I don't know if you can see it quite as clearly. There's like a gold meditating. I was going to say monk, but I see it as a mother. I do. Some sort of mother energy. Grandmother, mother energy. I also see a chisel. There's a lot. Feast of plenty. See, it's like with that Thanksgiving. I wish to feast with the plenty. Share the fixings and the garnishes with grace. I want to slide that card in here as well.
A long time ago.
The Spirit of the Wands that I'm sensing is the energy of your wife. She was with you somewhere else. Different lifetime, different pastime. I feel like there's also different pastimes. There's all that purple. And I remember when I wrote things down, it's like the purple electricity or something like that. And then with the purple. Okay, give me a second. I'll bring these up for you so you can see them. And then you also had here, beloved, radical acceptance, feast of plenty,
George.
Choices and their consequences. Do you know what it makes me feel like, Paul? The Hierophant. I am a creator. And I feel like I'm very, very aware of this in an acute state. In an acute state intuitively. What I commit to, I have thought long and hard. I have thought long and hard about what was, who I've been, where I'm going. And it's like having a hard-boiled egg. It's an hors d'oeuvre, an hors d'oeuvre. That was all an hors d'oeuvre. All an hors d'oeuvre. Fascinating. Top of the deck, Skybridge, possibility for union. Okay. Yes, if you want to take that in. This is what that golden mother is. Mother energy.
You are annoying.
She is holding things. I get that a lot, so don't mind. Don't mind it. She's holding like two things when you... I don't know if it's something you do in meditation or if it's something that you reach when you reach it. And there's like two offerings of the bridge. How do I say? Oh, you've been here before, I just heard. You've been here before. Are you going to continue learning about this one? This key? They're keys. They're keys. Thank you. They're keys to 10 of Cups. And then there's like another... There's another thing. They're each keys to these castles.
Sure.
And each time I go up, I get to decide. I meet this woman. This, or at least this feminine energy of sorts. Okay, I'm going to flip it here. Whew, that felt intense. It felt intense. Okay, hopefully I wasn't annoying to you, but if I was, again, you have the power to pause. All right, moving up here. Seeing a porcupine, a blue jay. Might have been some bullying or really loud words that were said to me. Courage is coming through with the 7 of Wands. The blue jay being up here. It's like I have some sort of spectacle for that kind of energy. And I don't want to give blue jays, I don't want to bully blue jays even by their symbology. I also want to note that it's like buddies, being, very frank about it, as the ghost box said. I'm also seeing woodpeckers. They're all in the same family. But this porcupine is what I feel very protective over my nest. And I will speak it clearly and courageously of, what my fortune is, what I have transformed. What I have transformed. This feminine energy in spirit, when you go up in meditation or when you connect or in your dream state, I don't know what it is. It's like the Wizard of Oz kind of feeling, but it's not green, it's gold. So it's kind of bringing me into, what is it, the stellar gateway
Camera.
chakra, stellar gateway. And it's like keys to the Emerald City, but it's not the Emerald City, and there's more than one key. Do not take my passivity or my kindness. I can kill them with kindness. I do have a line. And there's skunks in here. There's skunks. Yeah, I will. It's funny because when I saw this card commencement come up, it's like if anyone crosses that line after they haven't listened, it commences in a different way. And maybe I've had to learn that, or maybe that's how it was to me if I was bullied. Maybe I tried a bunch of different ways. But this is to protect my fortune, my fortitude. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting sometimes about the camera.
Jim.
There's those sickles. Don't test me. I just heard don't test me. I've been tested enough. It's almost like I feel like what I've been through. Yeah, fulfillment's on the bottom. What I have been through, people don't know. Like, I don't look what I've been through. There's a point in time where I was acting. Maybe you were shot, or you had to get shots or something like that. With the magician and the actor coming up, you have fulfilled roles maybe in other people's stories. And I feel like, again, I don't know past, present, whatever the case is. And you have fulfilled those roles. It's like being an actor. You took on certain jobs and you're like, yeah, okay, I can fulfill that role. And then I made the decision of like, okay, now I'm the Magus. And that actually all served. It gave me ingredients. It's like I was researching things. And maybe I was very aware of it, or I didn't know it at the time, but now I'm aware of it. Because it gives me so many angles of awareness, and it really aids my compassion. It's like being able to help others by having snippets of my own experience, and it's not coming from a place of, ignorance per se. Yeah, there's some sort of wisdom there, like a very colorful. It's like a cartoon monkey. I feel like my magic is magnificent and kind. The whole spectrum. Space is also a big thing. Stanley Kubrick as well. Creation really is curious. I don't know if anyone around you, again, I could be in a different lifetime or just a paralleling lifetime. Maybe you have a line of it, or the way it was used before. And it's like you're kind of like the black sheep that's the light sheep. Does that make sense? Because there's some sort of sigil or something up in the third eye and crown space, or some sort of geometry that I understand, and it means something. It feels like a charm.
Finish.
Feels like a charm of some sort, but not a bad one. It just feels like a charm. Let go and defense. The things that I care about, wow. The things that I care about, I defend. I escaped without using escapism. I'm seeing an orange turtle. I think it's funny. It's a turtle, but it's one of those things when I'm seeing it very clearly at my girlfriend's house, like before, if you're outside to inside, and it was a turtle, but it had like scrubbies on it, so you could actually like brush the bottom of your boots before you entered the house. That's how I'm seeing it. It's like before entering some sort of threshold. Some form of respect.
Brian.
I can't just deter. I'm seeing this as like a dragon, dragon vampire. But I feel like it's misunderstood, or I've harnessed something. I've made peace with that part of me that It helps to uphold things. I'm hunting, keeping a lookout. Oh man, I don't know if you feel like you have a lot of things that look out for you, or you are in charge of looking out for a lot of things. One or the other. I'm also seeing something about a squirrel. Remembering to play with your passion, something I've ingested as well. Something about, okay, this is weird. I don't know what it is. Something about internal bleeding. I don't know if that was like it's a heart thing or a bodily thing, or maybe something that went on at some point in time. I'm seeing raccoon kind of eyes here, but they're looking like more worried. Again, it kind of brings me into that feeling like, did I let go or almost let go? But I met some sort of threshold there, or I learned something very, very valuable about myself. And I want to come back down in here, actually, is how I'm feeling. Because I receive some, again, there's that divine guidance. Yeah, I receive something.
Sharon.
It's like going fishing through, like transcendental kind of meditation almost. And you go down, 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 down. And then you actually start reversing, like the whole dimensional dyslexia, and then turning the other way and coming out into this other earth. And there's something about this triangle, divine guidance. And I want to say, if I said it out loud, I think I did, the stellar gateway. And if I recall, and it's also from like the temple chakras and then up to the stellar gateway. And that creates the triangle to connect to a source.
True.
Oh, I don't know if it is true or not, but that's my divine guidance now. That's what leads me. Even when the frog eats the dragonfly or the bugs, it feels like I understand there's some sort of digestion of eating things that are really, really high frequency. Really, really high frequency. And it's like I almost can intuitively know. I almost intuitively know what will benefit me and what will not. It's like a meter here. I'll bring these up for you. Sorry if I keep forgetting. I get very invested sometimes. Oh, okay. Sorry. Give me one moment here. I just heard the song, I got the whole world in my hands.
Shine.
It's like on one side of the world where it's summer, here it's winter. You know how I like when people astral travel, typically is that, it's implied through whatever sleep state, dimensional state, that it's kind of above. And the space, that starts at our nose all the way up to whatever solar systems and beyond, but it starts here is up. I feel like in some ways you can go down. Again, it's like going through that rabbit hole.
Deep.
And go deep. And you can go to like another world. Like I don't want to say it's a shortcut because it's not. It's just a different route. It's a different route. There's torches there when you get there. There's people that man these portals. Whew. Golden Palace. Yeah, and it leads you to that Golden Palace down here. This root says, I don't know if this is like internal gut system, or the lineage is complicated. Education and wide open. Okay, so perhaps something about your inner child, being open to receive education beyond the norm. From different characters as well. Storybook characters. Maybe of what one you received on your own or did not receive. heart open. And I need to create a safe place for that, golden palace, for that to remain intact. Freedom to be felt like the fairyland. Dry desert and wizard of awareness. It's like this is where I am paying attention. I feel as though I'm watching my daughter grow up. That's how it makes me feel like, these three. I'll bring these up for you. Different stages. This makes me feel like you, that magician, that magus vibe. Spirals of creation, 3. The golden palace when I reach it. Creating this, manifesting this. Thanksgiving, I give thanks. I feel that when I come into this world, I am celebrated. It's like I'm in Fraggle Rock. That's what it makes me feel like. I feel like I'm in Fraggle Rock. And there's songs playing. And yet, if I remember Fraggle Rock, there's this... it's when you're drifting off to sleep, they kind of connect with you. Because they're all like jumping around and stuff. I'm trying to remember Fraggle Rock, but because I can see it, there's a big fuzzy dog or something like that, and there's like a human man, and I guess maybe it's this human man's house where there's all these like little portals for these Fraggles to have fun and be festive and sing their songs, and that's what I feel like. I don't even know if that makes any sort of sense, but there it is. All right. Getting ready to close out. If you see, sense, or feel anything, Paul, by all means. Anyone else who is still with me, thank you so much for holding space. I truly appreciate you, and you warm my haunted heart. You have earth guides. Whew. Yep, they do help clear things out in like these little twirlies here, and with that dust devil, anything that feels stagnant within the self. Kind of brings them up. I'm also seeing, what is that? How do I say that? What is
Peaceful.
that? How do I say what that is? It's like a feather boa. It reminds me to stay light. It reminds me to not to get my feathers ruffled over nonsense. But this feels like one big embrace of the world. Like these are arms out, and these are now turning into cat eyes versus raccoon eyes. And again, it's like I'm looking at cartoon characters. It's like the whole world is full of cartoon characters. This is how I feel like in your aura, which is so funny. The divine matrix is coming out, and as well, eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. I want to insert the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix,
Down there.
right in here. Yep, down here. The eyes of the eagle rising above the fray is kind of like those cat night eyes. And I liked it. It's like being a watchman with that. Where are you? Oh no, there you are. The wizard, the magus, not in a judgmental way. I feel like that can be easily misunderstood. There's something about my past or another past life where power was misused. And I'm very, very mindful not to have to do things the same way. Yeah, absolutely not. Because it wasn't well received by me and the way I had to adapt. I'm telling you something about like the fairies, the fairyland, whether it was in your wife, your child, your house, the Fraggles. They are there. They are there. They are there. Everyone's like helping each other. There's that portal. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. This is what you accomplished. This is what's already done. And now through the heart of your home, the beloved acceptance that came through earlier, your heart made its way back. It's almost like if somebody gets like a pacemaker or something like that and can keep track of the pulsations. And now it's a matter of balancing living in both worlds. The fact that I'm still living, the fact that I'm still here, or I survived this, I survived that, whatever the case may be. I balance being, having a private life and a public life, let's say. A balance of okay. the magic in the microcosm and the macrocosm and where they fit together. And they're not, there's like a non-compete clause, though some of them can be a little louder than other times. Yeah, Seven of Wands. Sometimes they can be a little louder, but it's almost as if thank you. Between these two worlds, private and personal, even, you know, the spiritual secret life, the private personal life, and then your magical and mundane life, whatever you want to call all these aspects, the balancing act in this very moment as I'm getting ready to close out. It is the in-between of giving thanks, bringing them all to the table. I don't know if this is done something like on a monthly live, or it's something you do just in your heart, hold space, but in these very particular calendar days, so that it is authentic and it is appreciated.
Please go.
And it's, you know, you can stay in a state of care and you don't have to tell your company to leave because, you know, nobody's overstayed their welcome, whatever the case may be. But, you know, or overextended, overate. Very mindful of that. And again, clearing and flushing things out with all the fixings. But it's the balancing of bringing these two worlds together through grace, gratitude, and lots of thanksgiving to give, and for more to come. Paul, this feels beautiful. I hope this did serve and inspire. And until next time, I'm going to leave it here so I don't ramble on too long, but I truly am grateful for all that you do.